Hi everybody, this is PackerFan1287 here with a news update, breaking news I should say. So about an hour and a half ago, here in Southern Idaho, most of y'all have probably already seen the news reports by the time this video gets uploaded, but we got an earthquake here. A 6.5 on the Richter scale. It took place about 90 miles north of Mountain Home proper. We felt it pretty good here, and it was it was very nerve-wracking. I mean, even though it wasn't that bad, it was just, poof, earthquake, Um, Surprisingly, I was sitting right here at the computer, doing my thing, and the house started shaking. And my first idea was, I was just thinking to myself, this is one of the trucks going by, like to do every day of the week. But it was longer than that, and I'm like, this doesn't happen like that. And the next thing I know, the ceiling fan above me starts shaking to the point where dust is falling off. My Grammy starts yelling, what's going on, And I stumbled to get out the doorway here. As you can see behind me, the computer room doorway. I almost fell over. I'm trying to get in here because the thing is about our house is we have a crawl space, so our house shakes a little bit more, just like houses that have basements. And another thing is that my Grammy almost took a big fall too, and she was trying to get out of her chair. Our dog was whimpering. So that was, and the only thing that happened here was just everything was shaken. A few pictures kind of got shifted on the wall, and a couple of card decks fell over from one of our shelves, and that was pretty much about it. I called a couple of my friends that live in the general area. And I called my friend in Hammett, which is about 20 miles east of here on the interstate, and he said that it was so bad there that cars were jumping, like jumping in place, and I'm just like, that's crazy, I called my friend in Boise, where he said things were a little bit worse due to the fact that it was closer to them than it was to us. And he said, oh yeah, like my stuff was falling off the walls. He said his ceiling fan almost came out of the roof because it was shaking so bad. And he said car alarms going off all around his neighborhood and whatnot. So obviously this was a pretty big deal, and it was felt in Montana as well, because it was pretty much in the center of the state. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the weather report the Weather Channel broadcasted here on the computer. So as you can see, this is not fake. This is real. I'm going to go ahead and read you the weather report here. See, there's the map. So you can see it was just northeast of Boise, and we're pretty much straight south from there. So it was probably just due north. So I'm going to go ahead and let you read this, but I'm going to read it out loud with you. So it says, a strong earthquake rocked southern Idaho on Tuesday evening and was felt by residents from Nevada to Montana. The quake, which was given a preliminary rating of 6.5 by the U.S. Geological Survey, struck some 78 miles northeast of Boise at 5:52 p.m. local time on Tuesday. Hundreds of residents reported to the USGS that they felt the shaking. I heard the roar, and at first it sounded like the wind, but then the roar was tremendous, Brett Woolley, a restaurant owner in the town of Stanley, told the Associated Press. The whole house was rattling, and I started to panic. I'm sitting here perfectly still, and the water next to me is still vibrating after the initial quake. It wasn't immediately known if there were any damage. There was damage, but the Boise Police Department said that they did not have any damage reports in the wake of the tremor. About 30 minutes after the main quake, a 4.8 magnitude aftershock was reported to the southeast. Residents in the area said they felt shaking again during the aftershock. According to the earthquake track, it was the second strongest earthquake in the state of Idaho since records began. A 6.9 magnitude trembler on October 28, 1983, known as the Bora Peak earthquake, remains the state's largest on record. So, obviously we know earthquakes happen at any time, and that's a given. But we didn't feel the aftershocks. Well, it was about 30 minutes. It would have been about 6:20 in the evening. We were sitting down to dinner at that time, and I didn't feel anything. But this is drawing a concern because if you've been reading the reports This is the third earthquake in the same general area over the past week. And the first one was last Wednesday in near Salt Lake City. Second one was on the Montana-Idaho border yesterday. Yes, there was one yesterday, and I didn't find that out until today. And obviously there was the one this afternoon. It's drawing a concern to me, mainly because if you know the general area, geographically, Yellowstone's right there in the middle of everything. And the fault lines that these occurred on are in the lava tubes and all that branch out from Yellowstone National Park. In fact, this town right here, Mountain Home, Idaho, is on a lava tube that runs from Yellowstone out to a small town south of Nampa called Melba. And so obviously we're getting hit. This is a big deal, for this area, for this region, that Yellowstone might be blowing soon. But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to put it in a Christian standpoint. That's God's waking up sign. God is basically telling us the end is coming. So, we need to be ready for whatever comes our way spiritually. So just pray about this. I know that this virus is running rampant in the United States, but there's a lot of different things you need to be praying for, and this is another one. So I hope everybody's okay up there in the Stanley, Idaho City, and Placerville area, because that's where it kind of took place at. It was around Placerville. So yeah. But other than that, everything is going pretty well here. As a little update, be prepared, because at Rail Fanning, this Friday, I'm going out all day to film the Nampa subdivision, so that'll be coming up as well. So just stay tuned for that. But at this time, Packerfan 1287 signing off.